We'll write books about it, which we're already doing. We'll write articles about it, which we're already doing. Well, we're really getting into, we're in a period like similar to the article writing period and giving guidance on that stage that we went through. That was a good stage. Those were good articles on that period. Now, we're in a new period. And this period has no, the last period was out there a little bit, but this period, you don't have nowhere you can go to find out what to do. If this is the Psychozoic age, if you have to pick up a name for it. Psychozoic, it is all in the mind. It's all here and there. Look, the things that they do, like I got busted upside the head. And people said, you all right? They put anything? I said, don't worry about it. You know why I said don't worry about it? Because I'm going to learn what they want from putting that thing in there, and then I'm going to train myself to do what's good for us, and I'm going to conquer that. Why? Because they just people. We people too, we trying to do right. We already done knocked them for 15 or 20 loops. Even, I mean, saying right now, because they want certain things, you know. And we have to figure out, well, what did they put up there? Okay, they put a little thing. If you think about certain things, it'll give off a signal, and you know what I mean, on their little thing. I was watching the guy, the police, the FBI, when they came here, and they had a thing sitting right up close to my head. It looked like one of those old-time walkie-talkies. It's about this tall and about 4 inches wide or something. And they had it sitting right at my head. Okay, I didn't believe that's what he was doing. He was just doing that to maybe make me feel uncomfortable. I didn't care what he was doing. You know why I didn't care? Because when you trust in Allah, whatever people are trying to do against you, you just study them. It's just like anything else. This is the thing that we learned way back when, and we got a chance to implement it. This is the things that our brothers didn't get a chance to do. They knocked them off right away. Okay, I'm not saying I'm smart or nothing like that, but when I saw them coming, they didn't already wrote, this is the last time we're going to see that nigga. We're going, and you can taste it. Goodbye, white folks. See y'all later. So I left the country. I didn't go like down the street or like the niggas here run down to Alabama. Not they don't even go to Alabama. That's too far. They go right down there to Carolina, right down the street. Some of them just go to Virginia, right there. They go across the state line, right 14th Street Bridge. And then they go down to the little town in Virginia, and don't talk about Carolina. When I first got here, the news every day, Johnny Boy just got arrested in Fayetteville, North or South Carolina, wherever it is down there. And Big Jim, the baby killer, he just got arrested every day. Do you remember that era on the news? I said, it's not even police psychology. Where's the nigga from? Where's his mama from? Right? Okay.
Where did the majority of people migrate from?
When they come here anyway. He's got cousins down there, right? He's got half of his family is down there, still down there, and half of us up here. So they just call the police. We send you some pictures of the nigga up here. He'll be down there in a couple of weeks. They was doing it every day, right? I mean, it was like, good God Almighty. Didn't nobody run off to Algeria? See, they was telling me, well, you just go to Mexico. Mexico is down the street. Well, I'm not going to Mexico. I'll come back there when I get ready. You know, the first time I took a flight from Paris. This is when I'm making a comeback. It was like January the 1st, 1972. So I'm on the plane. Now, I done looked at the map and everything. And so, you know, of course, the earth is round and the map is flat. So I drew a line from Paris, France to Mexico City. And zoop, there it was. The only thing is the earth is made like a pear instead of like a globe, you know what I mean? So it's smaller. You ever took long flights? They fly over the Arctic and then down to the Caribbean. Because the top of the earth is like a pear, smaller. Yeah, they always draw a picture of it as round, but it ain't round. It's more like kind of fat down at the bottom. They always say kind of like a pear. So every flight that I took, not everyone, but many of the flights that I take from Europe, right here and over there, you fly up over the Arctic and you see all that snow and everything and ice down there, right? And then, so I've been on the run, man. I've been to Africa, Algeria, which is still in Africa, and I was in Europe. I was in Paris. I was in Copenhagen, you know, because they used to like Negroes in Copenhagen years ago. They don't like them now. But boy, it was, I mean, you know, if Negroes liked white ladies in those days, and they seem to be a little better looking than the American white ladies, I mean. And the Negro, boy, look at here. The Negro was in the army, he'd be in Germany. Germany is right below Denmark. Man, they'd hop on that train, go through Hamburg, and they'd be in Denmark, you know what I mean, in little or no time. And there was more Negroes in Copenhagen than it was in Kansas City. Because they went up there, and just imagine, the white girls in Denmark and Sweden had all the black books, and they knew way more than them. Them guys were soldiers. They ain't do no read. Them white girls, I'd go to their house, they had every book, all the Negro terminology. They liked, you know, Negroes. Of course, they blew it. They sent some Negroes up there, Monkey Man and some other niggas, to mess it up. You know, the people actually liked black people up there in Scandinavia. I'm telling you, you wouldn't believe it. And a Negro go up there and say, what? Yes, da-da-da-da-da. And then they could smoke them bowls of hashish, you know, like you stick a little hole in it, take a bowl, you know, put a little tin foil on it, da-da-da-da. On this side, you punch some holes, and then on this side, you just put that hashish on that. And so there, this was then, you could stay high all you wanted. Man, the Negro got up there, and he never wanted, they'd come up there from the army, and on a weekend, you couldn't get the Negroes back down to Germany. Because white women didn't like niggas in Germany. They didn't like, prostitutes did, but not good middle class, educated, you know, and they wasn't studying every book. Some of the most money was raised for Angela Davis. Her sister came up there when I was there, and I was staying with some people. We came to see her. She raised more money in Denmark and Sweden than they did all of the United States. Yeah, anyway, so the environment that we were existing in those days was an intellectual environment where people knew that we was oppressed, and they were nice to black people. In a lot of countries, they was just nice to black people. Of course, you know, it ain't gonna last long. Because, no, boss man, if there's a place on earth where they like black people, the white man gonna send as many people as he can. Negroes over there to mess it up. You see the thing with Pete O'Neill, when I came back to visit them in Tanzania, somewhere around 73, excuse the language, he said, yeah, you know, it was pussy got us put out of Algeria. Eldridge Cleaver was coming back here telling those Arabs didn't like us. No, the Negroes, I'm telling you, some of my friends, they was giving me the game on, man. Now I was the Muslim Nation of Islam type, type. Black nationalist type, just a blend of colored stuff. Anyway, he said, man, these girls over here, the ones with that stuff all on their face, talking about niqab. He said, man, this is one of the Negroes that's here now. If I would have mentioned his name, you would know. Man, and they get to hollering, and cause, you know, maybe, I don't know, the Arabs, they just go at them one or two for maybe a minute or two and produce a baby, and it's all. But the Negro, and they, you know, not only a high yellow, they got what they call good hair. They look like Mediterraneans. In Algeria, that's the Mediterranean. So they all look like Greeks and look like them. Tunisians look like them. You know what I mean? They're like, just look at any picture of Algeria, especially the northern part. So the Negro got over there, and he was breaking all the Islamic laws. And they put him out for that. They said, you can't come over here doing that. That's why they got put out of Algeria. It had nothing, Eldridge was sitting, he was lying. Look, he was lying. My best friend took over the party after him. He used the words, man, pussy got us put out of Algeria. It wasn't they didn't like black people. But you can't come over here doing that. See, even girls that dressed in a Paris way with many dresses and all of that, you still couldn't do nothing to them. They was just Western looking, but they wasn't Western acting. Hold it. You got to go talk to my daddy about, get your hands off me. What are you talking about? No, that's the way. Because, see, you would look, you know, you say, yeah, that's tender there. She ain't got all that stuff on. Let's say half of them did and half of them didn't. And the Negro, I will call him the dumbass nigger. He was hitting on the poor, the niqab wearers. And then they got it amongst themselves. After you knock one of them over, their hair start frizzling up, you know. And so, you know, the word get out, yeah, and eventually it's going to get back to the man, too. Yeah, they gonna say, man, what are y'all doing? Niggas, you got to go. So anyway, the point is that some of the opportunities we had, we blew a lot of them ourselves. In Africa at that time, we're going through a decolonization period, and whether we were in East Africa, later on we was in mostly East Africa and other places. Because we wanted to go to Black Africa, you know. I did myself. I said, I want to go to So I left Algeria and I went to Tanzania. The other brothers from the party, they came later, a year or two later. But the point is that you have to learn the customs of the country, what the people do. And they chose the word, they brought the Negro, used to be a big street called the Rudy Douche Morad. They used to go down there every day buying hashish and everything. And I come now, I'm ready for revolution. I said, hey, man, now. The only brothers that worked out was me and Sekou Dinga. Because for a while I lived way out on the beach. I'd come pick him up every day. We'd go out there. They had basketball courts, you know, stuff like that. I don't think they had no courts in town because they played football. By the way, I remember when they had that football tournament or something, and everybody, we used to football, American football and baseball. That's when I realized, they said, no, that's the most popular sport in the world, football, soccer. And it was. It was like, you know the way they have football Mondays or whatever they have here. They don't do nothing when that